Babes, and welcome to my book nook.
We are monsters. We give and we take.
For those that are new around here, the name's Rainy. I read all different types of books from all different types of genres, so if you're interested in that, please like and subscribe to my channel down below. It really helps my channel grow. So yes, I am in my classroom filming this intro, but I just didn't have time to film it last night, okay? So we're just gonna rock with it and roll with it. But in today's video, we are tier ranking every single book that I read in 2023. So we have 141 books on this list. And it takes a while, okay? I tried my best to talk through them as quickly as possible, but you know, sometimes that's just not possible. I'm excited to show you which books are like God tier, which books are like in the middle, which books I didn't really get to talk about because they were in the middle, and which ones I absolutely hate. So if you're ready to see all of my thoughts for this entire year, or this entire last year, then let's dive in. So let's go over all these books. We're not going to take a very long time with all of these, but let's first talk about all the tiers. So we have, these books are my entire personality. Basically, these are the cream of the crop, the creme de la creme, the fabulous ones. Basically, my God tier books, my 10-star, not 10-star, my top 10 and maybe a couple additional ones after that. Like, I talk about these books all the time. You're probably sick of hearing me talk about these books all the time. I really could not care less. And we have, I will take no criticism for these. These are 5 stars, some 4.5 stars, maybe a couple 4 stars that, like, I absolutely love. I don't want to hear you talk smack about them because obviously you are wrong. I am right. They are fabulous. And that's all there really is to it. We have, this was a book. This is a 3-star, middle of the road book, maybe 3.5 star. Like, it's fine. I would still recommend it to others, but like, it was a book, okay? It's not going to live in my brain beyond the time that I read it. It just is a book. Then we have Let's Pretend It Never Happened. Like, let's just pretend that I never read this book and that this never happened and that I didn't waste my time reading this book, because I probably did, because none of these books are DNFs because your girl just can't DNF apparently. And then we have Hot Trash. These are books that nobody should read. They are awful. They should be taken out of the universe, okay? And this is just my opinion, okay? Just my opinion. All right, let's get started, shall we? Let's rush through this because we have 140 books to get through. All right, the first one up is we have The Naturals by Lynn Barnes, and I'm going to put this as this was a book. Now, I did love this book, but I understand people getting the criticism behind this one. Like, it's a YA book. It reads very YA, but I had a fun time with it. I'm definitely going to continue on with the series. Then we have Song of Achilles, and I really hate that I'm putting this into Let's Pretend It Never Happened. I did not like this book, guys. I didn't even understand what was going on in this book. I felt so dumb reading this book, and I thought I was going to love this book. Every girly pop seems to love this book except for me, and so I don't know if it's something wrong with me, or honestly, I don't think it's something wrong with me. I'm just not a historical girly, and I should have known that. So let's just move on before I get upset. And we have Wonderland by Jennifer Hillier, and I'm going to put this in I will take no criticism for these. Jennifer Hillier has cemented herself as an all-time favorite author for me. I only have 2 more books of hers that I have yet to read. I loved this book. It was her backlist. It was fabulous. I know not everybody vibes with it, but I vibe with it, and that's all that matters. It was a great book. Truly Devious by Maureen Johnson is also going to go in Let's Pretend It Never Happened, because I think I gave it... Actually, let's not boom it into Let's Pretend. I thought this one was fine also. I think this was a book. Because this also was a book. It's kind of, it's not the same concept as The Naturals, but I feel like they're in the same, like, cozy mystery type series for YA, and I was expecting to like this one a lot more than I did, and it was just middle of the road. I probably will continue on with it because I own the rest of the series, because this was before Rainy has learned to please not buy the whole set of a series that you know nothing about, especially in YA. Like, who even am I? By The Were Turkey is, I'm joking, it's not top tier. It is hot trash, okay? It is not a good book. It's literally 13 pages of, like, weird turkey shifter smut, and, like, it was just a thing that happened, okay? Like, we live. And we move on. Saving Noah. This one is going to go into I will take no criticism for these. This is a very polarizing book, so please don't read this if you can't handle really sensitive topics. Like, check your trigger warnings for this. But it was a fabulous book. I still think about the ending of this. Like, it was so crazy. There are no words, honestly, for this book. Caraval by Stephanie Garber, I'm going to put into I will take no criticism for these, because I really, really enjoyed this series a lot more than I was expecting. I thought I wasn't going to like it that much, but this was such a fun, whimsical time. I really fell in love with Stephanie Garber's writing. I'm so glad I read the entire series this year. In fact, if I was able to find the rest of them, let's see. I see Finale, and that will also, honestly, this entire series will go, and I take no criticism for these. There's Finale, and then I know Legendary is in here somewhere. Okay, whatever. Whenever I find it. Oh, there it is. Right there. Okay, so I'm just going to put the entire series there because, honestly, I had so much fun with these. I think I gave it in 4 stars across the entirety of it. It was a good time. The Simple Wild by K.A. Tucker. This is hard because I really, really liked this book. I think more people should read this, so I'm going to put it in these books are my entire personality. I'll move it if it doesn't feel right when I put other books up there. I loved this book. I had such a fun time with this book. I need to continue on with the series. I think we all 5-starred it, like Brittany, Kelsey, Neva. I think we all did. We had a really great time with this. It was such a cute little romance in the Alaska wild. Like, I was living my best life while I was reading this. If you have not read this, I think you should. It is highly undervalued. Then we have Cabin at the End of the World, and we know where that's going. In fact, that's going at the front of Hot Trash, because that is the worst book I've ever read. It is despicable. It is awful. The whole purpose is not done, okay? This book is not good. That's all I want to spend on this book. Daughter of the Pirate King, I'm going to put into I will take no criticism for these, because I actually enjoyed this book a lot more than I was expecting. I thought it was going to be some cutesy, little, like, nerdy, I don't know, weird YA pirate romance, but it was so much more than that, and I really had a good time with this. Like, it surprised me, so, like, I think it deserves to be up there. If We Were Villains is going to go into these books are my entire personality, because it did get on my honorable mentions in my best books of the year. This book is fabulous. It is exactly what my theater heart wanted and needed. I'm so glad Brittany made me read this book. It is Shakespeare heavy, but honestly, I was here for that. We also can put We Sort Our Souls in Hot Trash. That is also a Hot Trash book. Like, Grady Hendrix, why did you write this book? This book was weird. This was also another book where I did not know what was going on while I was reading it, and I felt mildly confused. And not mildly, I was really confused. Okay, let's be honest here. The Hunting Party by Lucy Foley is definitely, this was a book. It just was. I honestly don't even remember much of what happened to it. It's basically a rinse, wash, repeat of the guest list. And I know the guest list came after this, but the guest list was a much better written book than this, so makes sense. Same thing for An Unwanted Guest by Sherry Lapina. This was a book. It was another book I read in that Agatha Christie moment. I don't remember really anything about it. It is what it is. I think I gave it a 4-star, but now that I look back on it, I should have given it a 3. Like, I just don't think Sherry Lapina is for me. I've tried a couple of books by her now, and we're just not vibing. Okay, we have Sheets, and this one is going to honestly go into these books are my entire personality. I love this graphic novel series so much. It is freaking adorable. I'm so glad that I started it. I need to finish it. It was the perfect thing I needed in my life. Wendell is like the perfect, like, above all creature, goddess of the sea. I'm kidding, goddess of the night. I love him so. All right, then we have Baby Teeth by Zoya Stage, and I'm going to put this in I will take no criticism for these because I really, really, really liked this book. It was the only evil child book that I've read where the evil child is actually one of the perspectives in the book. And I think that's how it needs to be done, friends. I want to hear from this crazy child. I want to get inside her mind. I want to know what the hell she's thinking, okay? This book, chef's kiss. We have Flock by Kate Stewart. Honestly, this book should be my entire personality because I loved it so much. Now, I can't say what it's about, but it is wild. It is unhinged in the dark, romancy, smutty way, okay? I just can't. And I need to continue on with this because I know that Exodus is going to shake me to my core, okay? I'm ready. I'm emotionally prepared. Kind of. Not really. Okay, then let's go to Punk 57. And I don't know whether to put this in Hot Trash or... Actually, we're going to put it in Let's Pretend This Never Happened because I want to pretend this didn't happen. I want to pretend that I never read it because I'm mad that I read it because it was awful. It was a bully romance, but I didn't like the bully romance. I thought it was just too beyond. I just don't really understand why anybody would love this book. I'm kind of judging you if you love this book, so take that with a grain of salt, though. Migrations by Charlotte McConaughey. I'm going to put in I will take no criticism for these because this was an absolutely beautiful book and I was not expecting to enjoy this book. It's kind of like a climate, environmentally sad girl lit fic, and I really had a fabulous time with this. I read it for my local book club and we all really enjoyed it. I thought it was beautiful. It had a lot of things to say and I think more people should read it. It's a little underrated. Okay, Delicates was just as beautiful as Sheets, so those are both going in these books are my entire personality. Like, if you have not read the series yet, like, what is wrong with your life? Like, you need to get on board the train and you need to read this book. Get a Life, Chloe Brown is going to go in This Was a Book. I didn't really care for this book. I know that you either love this one or you hate this one. Everyone is telling me I should continue on with the series, which I'm going to this year. But this one, like, I don't know what didn't do it for me. Like, I'm honestly confused why I did not love this book because it had a lot of things that I really do love. But it just didn't work for me somehow. I don't know. Or The Coffee Gets Cold is going to go in Let's Pretend It Never Happened because I thought for sure I was going to love this book and it was really boring and repetitive and I didn't really care for it. And honestly, I can't remember much more that happened in this book because I've kind of already erased it from my brain. That's how much I didn't like this book. Little Secrets by Jennifer Hillier. I know I gave it a 4-star, but I'm going to put it in This Was a Book because this is honestly my least favorite of hers. Now, I didn't like this book for a multitude of reasons. I just thought it was kind of boring and, like, it wasn't anywhere near as exciting as other books of hers. I also don't necessarily love a missing child trope because I have children, so, like, it hits a lot harder now. But, like, I don't know. This one was just, like, middle of the road for me there. I'm going to also put in Let's Pretend It Never Happened because I do want to pretend pretend I never read that. I wish I read this. I wish I had loved this book. I wanted to love this book, okay? Brittany told me not to read it. I should have listened to her. I know it's a beloved series by many. I shouldn't have read it anyway. I had no business reading it. I'm not a cozy mystery girly by any stretch of the imagination, okay? So just leave me alone. I think this is Zodiac Academy, the first one. Yeah, it is. Not Ruthless Light. I can't remember what the first one. The Awakening. And I'm going to put this in I will take no criticism for these because I really enjoyed this. I enjoyed this more than I probably should have. Like, yes, it's a cringy YA romance, okay? Bully romance even. But this bully romance didn't bother me, okay? And I also am going to put not the second one, it's like a prologue or something in this. I really loved reading this because it gave me a better understanding of two of our main characters in the series, and I definitely am excited to continue on this year with the books. So, like, I'm loving a Zodiac Academy moment. Even if it hurts by Marnie Mann, I'm going to put into... I will take no criticism for these. This was a truly beautiful book, okay? It was a girl that is in a romance with someone in college, he ends up moving away, they end up getting separated, she ends up marrying someone else, but then she meets the other guy later on in the life, and it's like, what would have happened if she had gone with them? And it is just truly heartbreaking and devastating and beautiful, and I need to reread it because it was beautiful, okay? It was just one of those books that cut through to the core. Okay. Temper by Lane Fargo is going to go, and I will take no criticism for these. This was another book that my theater girly heart just, like, needed. This is, like, theater, but, like, the unhinged side of theater, like, what happens when you go too into your character and stuff. And I think this was a perfect representation into that, and honestly, it was so good. And Lane Fargo can do nothing wrong in my eyes. If you haven't read this book, I highly recommend this one, but it's not for everyone. It's, like, for that certain theater girly. Like, you know who you are if this is for you, is what I'm saying. Then we have Taken by Thanksgiving. Yes, that's another hot trash. That is another smutty Thanksgiving read that I read over Thanksgiving. Like, we're not going to judge me, okay? And if we are judging me, I just don't really care. It is what it is. It's here for a time. Then we have the first book, Akatar, and I am going to... no, honestly, I'll take no criticism for these because I did enjoy it. I gave it a 5-star the first time, a 4-star the second time. I really did love it. I want to continue on with the series. Like, I can't justify putting it in this with a book because I enjoyed it a lot more than that, okay? Okay. But One by Ruth Ware is going to go in Let's Pretend This Never Happened because honestly, I enjoyed this one significantly less than The Hunting Party and An Unwanted Guest, but I'm not surprised. Like, I'm not a Ruth Ware girly. I don't know why I keep trying to pretend to be. Like, it is what it is. It's over and done with. Catherine House is going to go into I will take no criticism for these because I was actually really surprised that I liked this, but not too much because I love Bunny and I love really weird books like that, but I did not understand what was going on for a significant part of this book, and the fact that it still got a 4-star for me is like showing that like it's well written, and I would love for her to write more books. She hasn't written anything since this, and this came out a couple years ago, so like, come on Elizabeth, like, I'm waiting for you to write another book. We have Squad, and I don't know what I was expecting with this book, but I think I gave it a 5-star, but like, I'm just gonna put it in this was a book. And now, hear me out, okay? Why? Because like, I don't know, like, it's not my entire personality, and I can understand criticism for this. Like, you know, some 5 stars just, I guess it's like more a vibe thing, okay? Like, maybe this should have been like a 4-star or a 3.5. So like, some books, you know, you just give a 5 based off of vibes. So that's what this was. I'm moving it down in the tier. Then we have The Midnight Library by Matt Haig, and I'm going to put this in I will take no criticism for these because I genuinely enjoyed this book. I thought it was beautiful. I know it's not for everyone, and I know it has some very, very triggering, like, unaliving topics, but I really had a great time with this, and I think that our character goes on this really amazing journey, and I understand why people love this. I understand why people hate this, but I had a great time with it. Then we have Spy Family 1, and I'm going to put this in I will take no criticism for these because I loved it. I cannot wait to read volume 2. It was so cute. The little spy and the mom, and, you know, the little girl that can hear her parents and knows exactly who they are to each other, like the assassin and the spy. Fabulous time. Blood and Ash, I know, is like a polarizing book, but I'm putting it in I will take no criticism for these because I had the best time with this book. Now, it took me a while, and I haven't read it in a hot minute, so before I get to book 2, I definitely need to do a recap, but like, we were having our best time with this book, okay? We were living, we were thriving, we were tippity-toe tying. I don't even know what that means, but I loved it. File A for Aunties is going to go in Let's Pretend It Never Happened because I should have DNF'd this book. It was another classic sense of Rainy is reading a cozy mystery. However, I didn't DNF it because Brittany gave it to me in this collab that we did, and she was hoping I would like it more than her. I did not, alas. We both wanted to DNF it, and she did DNF it, so it be what it be. Then we have Haunt by Ren Montgomery, my friend, and I'm going to put this in I will take no criticism for these because I really liked it. It was one of the only haunted house books that I've really genuinely enjoyed so far. So if you're looking for a good spooky one, but like with a lot of religious trauma though, if you think you can handle that, then go read this book. Then we have House of Hollow by Crystal Sutherland, and I still think about this book to this day. So this is going in, these books are my entire personality. I'm shouting this into the void at this point. This book is fabulous. If you have not read it, pick it up. I'm so very genuinely surprised that I liked this as much as I did. I literally cannot wait for her new book to come out at the end of the month, y'all. Like, I have pre-ordered that shiz. Like, I am excited for Miss Sutherland's work. Then we have The Perfect Ruin by Shanora Williams, and this one also needs to be talked about more. And honestly, I kind of wish I'd put this in my honorable mentions because I had so much fun with this book. I'm going to put in, I will take no criticism for these. This is like one of the perfect domestic thrillers that I read this year. It was just so well crafted. It was so fun. It took me on a ride. It had rich socialite drama, which we all know I love to see. I'm here for 100%. So go do yourself a favor and go read this book. Twisted Love is going to go in Let's Pretend This Never Happened because I did not like this book. I did not. And I'm really enjoying the Kings of Sin series better than Twisted Love series because I'm kind of scared to continue on with this series, even though everyone says that this is the worst one in the series and I need to keep going. But like, why is it always that the first book in a series has to be bad and then you have to keep going? Why can't you just make a good book from the get-go? Then we have Indigo Ridge by Daphne Perry, and I'm going to put this in This Was a Book. Now, I did give this a 4 stars, but like, I don't know. I was expecting to enjoy this more than I did. I don't really know. I didn't know that it was a romantic suspense. That kind of threw me off when I was reading it. I am going to continue on with the series. I own the rest of the series, but like, it didn't hit for me as hard as I thought it was going to. And we have Once Upon a Broken Heart, and this is definitely, like, these books are my entire personality. I loved this book, okay? I had so much fun with this. Jax and Evangeline are just the cutest little things, the cutest little green beans. I need to read The Ballad of Never After because I know that one is going to be way bigger and better because everybody says it is significantly better, so, like, I want to hear all the hype. I want to get there. You know what I'm saying? The Veil is Let's Pretend It Never Happened because it honestly shouldn't have. It's a 1-hour audiobook by Rachel Harrison that I read to read her entire backlist, and I can't even tell you what it's about anymore because I've etched it out of my brain already. But Find Me by Ashley Rosdick is going to go, and I will take no criticism for these because this is a why choose romance between these 4 brothers and this one girl, and it's also a romantic suspense, and it is spicin'. It's spicin', it's suspensin', it's tense, it's everything that you want it to be. Thriller, romance, combined, fabulousness. Please read this. If you have not, I cannot wait to finish on. I know all my friends are done with the series, and I got behind, but it's like absolutely spot on fabulous. Then we have Part of Your World by Abby Jimenez, and I'm going to put this in These Books Are Your Entire Personality because I put this in my honorable mentions. This book is beautiful, okay? It is heartbreaking. It is just everything I needed to be in more, okay? I just loved it. I loved it so much. I really, really loved it. It is such a cute romance, and Abby Jimenez is going to be definitely a favorite author of mine. Like, I know it for sure. Tomorrow is going to go in This Was a Book. It had too much hype. It really did. I didn't expect it to stand up to the hype, okay? I prepared myself. It just was what it was. Then we have Astrid Parker Doesn't Fall, and I am going to put this in This Was a Book as well because I did not enjoy this one as much as the first book. I know, that's polarizing. A lot of people like this one more. Honestly, I think I need to reread this one again so that I can appreciate it more, and I probably will reread it again at some point because I love Delilah Green Doesn't Care, and that made it on my best books of last year. I still need to read Iris Kelly Doesn't Date, but I'm a little scared because I've heard people are not liking that one nearly as much, so we'll get to it when we get to it. And we have I'm Glad My Mom Died by Jeanette McCurdy. I'm going to put this in I will take no criticism for these because I won't. It was a beautifully written memoir. I absolutely loved it. I love that Jeanette McCurdy narrated it herself. I had the best time with this, and I'm very glad that we are getting to this book. Then we have How to Sell a Haunted House by Grady Hendrix, and this is going to go in Let's Pretend It Never Happened because we really should. Pumpkin should not exist. The puppet should not exist. That's all I'm going to say to that book. Should not be a thing. Absolutely terrifying and very cringeworthy. We have Long Live the Pumpkin Queen, and I'm going to put this in This Was a Book. It was totally fine. Like, I don't know. Like, I mean, it was cute. It was like everything I wanted it to be for like Halloween time, but like, am I gonna remember this down the road? Like, no. Like, I'm really just not. It's Like Home by Sarah Gailey is going to go into hot trash, and I know I loved The Echo Wife, but this one, the ending was awful, okay? It was bad. It should not have happened. It should not have happened the way that it did. It should not have happened the way that it did. Magnolia Parks, you know where you're going. You're going to the tippity top. You're going right over here. No, you're going before the Simple Wild. You are my queen. You are my everything. You are just fabulous. Okay, and Miss Daisy Hates, you're going to go right next to her. We're going to go together because this series is bae. I am reading the 3rd book right now, and then the 4th in preparation for number 5 to come out in February. I am ready, okay? I'm ready to cry. I'm ready to shed some tears. Belladonna is going to go in Let's Pretend It Never Happened because it was my 100th book of the year. I thought it was going to be good. Everybody was ranting and raving about it, and I did not like it. And I am sad. The House in the Cerulean Sea is going to go, and I will take no criticism for these because Linus is literally, he has my whole entire heart, okay? Linus is just fabulous. And these characters are so cute. The little griffin and the wyvern, or whatever, however you say it. All the little characters are so cute, and they just have my whole heart. I just wish that I could, like, bottle them up in a little bottle and carry them around with me everywhere. This book was just everything. I loved it so much. I also really enjoyed Amari and the Night Brothers, so I'm going to put this, and I will take no criticism for these because I was not expecting to love it this much because it was a middle grade, but it was so fun and whimsical and adventurous, and I need to get to the second book, and I'm just so glad that I read this, and it's just fabulous. Still Beating by Jennifer Hartman is also going to go and I will take no criticism for these because I actually love this. I didn't love it as much as everybody else and their mother did, and I know that's like polarizing as well. But I still really liked it. I will say check trigger warnings for it. It is not for everybody. I definitely want to read more that Jennifer Hartman writes, but that's where it's going to go. Then we have Hooked by Emily McIntyre, and I'm going to put this in. I will take no criticism for this as well. I really loved this. I know this is not for everybody, but like a smutty Peter Pan retelling with Hook as the villain, like getting Wendy, I'm just here for it, okay? I'm ready to read the next book in her series. I am just here for a good smutty time. Sea of Ruin by Pam Godwin is also going up into God tier. I love this book. No, it needs to go before that. It is a mermaid pirate fantasy romance. It's historical, which I normally don't like, but I love here. It is just everything that I need in a book and more. I had the best time reading this book. Bennett is fabulous. Lord Ashley Cutlass is fabulous. Priest is fabulous. Everybody in this book is fabulous. I mean, not everybody, but I do think everybody should read this book, and I definitely want to reread it again and annotate it, so that is going to happen very soon. And we have Master of Salt and Bones, and I am going to put this in. This was a book. I gave it 4-star, and I actually really enjoyed it. However, there were just a couple of topics in this that I wasn't expecting that I've learned I don't really care for in reading in a book, and I can't say what they are because that'll kind of give away part of the synopsis, but it just kind of deterred the book for me, if you will. And we have Daughter of No Worlds by Carissa Broadbent. Obviously, this is going in. These books are my entire personality because any book that Carissa Broadbent writes is going to make its way up there. Just wait till we get to my favorite book, Serpent, okay? Let's just talk about her now while we're here because I can't stop fixating on it. She's number one. She is the crown. She's the pearl, okay? That is the best book ever. I stand by it with my entire chest. I cannot wait to reread it again in a couple of days and annotate it. I can't wait to read Ashes and the Starcursed King. I can't wait to read Slaying the Vampire Conqueror. I love her. 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 Someone Had to Do It by Amber and Danielle Brown. I'm going to put this in. I will take no criticism for these because this was a very well-crafted thriller, especially from a debut artist or authors of sisters. I thought it was really good. It was fast-paced. It also had more of that rich socialite drama that I absolutely love and I crave, and I do think it's underrated, and you should read it if you've never heard of it, or even if you have. Then we have A Very Secret Society of Irregular Witches, and I already know everybody's gonna judge me for putting it under This Was a Book, but like, I thought I was gonna 5-star it, and I was gonna be in love with it, but like, I've learned I'm not a cozy fantasy girly either, which makes me scared, because that's what Assistant to the Villain is, but I'm gonna try it anyway. This is just not my thing. I'm not a cozy girly. I don't want cozy in any of my genres. Horror, romance, fantasy. I don't want it. I don't want it. We got Things We Never Got Over. And we're gonna say let's pretend it never happened, because even though I gave it, I think, a 3.5 star, it is significantly too long. Significantly too long. And ridiculous. And there's the cringiest line of like, don't yuck my yum or something like that, and I just can't get behind that. Then we have Mother Thing. That is hot trash. That book was not really doing it for me until the very end with Kung Pao Chicken. This is so bad. I don't want to think about this book. I don't want to think about this book. I don't want to think about this book. Then we have The Never King, and I am going to put this in. I will take no criticism for these because, yes, I understand this book, okay? It is also another smutty Peter Pan retelling. I just live for those things. Do you not get that by now? And this has Faye in it, so it is even freaking better. Then we have All Good People Here by Ashley Flowers, and I'm going to put this in. I will take no criticism for these. I understand this book is like either you love or you hate it, and then it's basically just a copy of the John Benet Ramsey case. But I had the best time with this. And the ending is very ambiguous, and I was here for it. I was honestly shook at how this ending, like, what happened in this ending. And I just loved it. It really just worked for me. Mothered by Zoya Stage is also definitely hot trash. This is not a good book. Like, to go from Baby Teeth to this is just honestly embarrassing. Like, it is not good. I do not recommend. Would not pass go. Okay? We Spread by Ian Reid, though, is definitely going in. These books are my entire personality, because that was also a honorable mention. It was the first book I read of last year. I absolutely loved it. It is beautiful. Beautiful commentary on death and grief and like dementia and all of these things and losing your mind and being at peace with it. All this other stuff. Absolutely fabulous. Fabulous time. Just the Nicest Couple by Mary Kubica is going to go in This Was a Book because I don't really remember much about it. I honestly was expecting to like it more than I did, and it just is what it is, unfortunately. All Is by Elsie Silver is definitely going to go into These Books Are My Entire Personality because this series is bae. I'm so glad I started the Chestnut Springs series this year and that I'm continuing it into this year. It is cute. It is everything. I loved this first book. They really set the stage for me. However, we need to get to my girly pop heartless because that's not where she's going. I'm moving her up more. She needs to go like up here because this book, Cade and Willa, have my whole heart, okay? They have my whole heart. They're fabulous. I just cannot tell you the thoughts that I had while reading this book. This is a perfect romance. It is. That is a perfect romance. Then we have Always Been You by Julie Tyler, and it's so taboo-y, and it was on my worst books of the year, but I'm putting it in Let's Pretend This Never Happened because I don't want to think about having hated this book, because I was expecting to like this book, and it is so taboo. Like, it is too taboo for me. I can't say anything more about this book. We're gonna pretend it never happened. Bad Dolls, though, is going to go in this book because this was like another cozy horror, and Rachel Harrison is one of the only ones that cozy horror works for me, but in this situation it did not. I expected to be scared, and I was not. Maybe it just went too far over my head because Haley Hughes was saying stuff and it was commentarying to her, and it didn't hit me quite the same. Guys in the Woods, and this is also going to go in This Was a Book. It just was. It was not the greatest. It was just... Now, this also did a copy-paste of a copy-paste of a case, but it was a case that had a closed case. Like, at least John Benet Ramsey was open to interpretation, right? This one is closed. So, like, if you know what happened, you know what happened. So, like, get a little more original, shall we say. Then we have The Spite House, and I'm going to put that in Let's Pretend It Never Happened because I don't like knocking debut authors or horror, but it was not good. It was very boring. And it was too long, even though it was 275 pages, it was too long. So that's when you know a book is not that well written. And we have The Soulmates of Sally Hepworth, and I am not going to take any criticism for this. I did not expect to love this book the way that I did. Sally Hepworth knows how to write a book that I am going to genuinely enjoy, and I'm going to read the rest of the books that she comes out with because I was shocked that I loved this that much. Then we have Such Sharp Teeth, and I'm going to put this in I will take no criticism for these either because this was my second favorite book that she's written. I had such a good time with it. It is one of those books, though, that went over my head with the content that it was trying to talk about because, once again, Haley Hughes read it too, and she, after I watched her discussion on it, I came to appreciate this book even more than I had. This book is magical. And while we're there talking about Miss Rachel Harrison, we might as well finish with all the other books of hers that I read. So we'll put Black Sheep there as well because I don't want to take criticism from that one as either. I really liked that. It went a direction I didn't expect it to, and it was fabulous. But the one that takes the cake that needs to go to the very top is Cackle, because Cackle is a masterpiece. It is a cozy horror that worked for me. I loved every second of it. I loved our characters and Sophie. I loved them all. It is special. It is the perfect witchy October-y read. I just love it. I just love it. Then we have a book that I actually can't talk about that I'm surprised is up here, and so I'm going to go through it really, really quick, and I'm not even going to say anything about it. I'm just going to put it somewhere that I absolutely love, but St. Martin's Press needs to do better, y'all. That's all I'm going to say on that. Okay, then we have Bewitched by Laura Salasa, and I'm going to put this in I will take no criticism for these. Is this a 5-star fantasy romance? No. Is it even a great romantasy? No. But did I have a lovely, awesome, fun time with this? Like, this is a purely vibes book, friends. This is a purely vibes book. But I had such a good time with it. We have Finley Donovan Jumps the Gun, and we are going to pretend it never happened because it was not good. It was a filler book, but it made no sense, and it was not great, and I'm so sick of this freaking love triangle, and if this happens again in the next book, I might have to jump ship. Then we have Episode 13 by Craig DeLuey, and this is hot trash. This book is not good. I do not like it. It was very boring, and I was expecting to like it because it had all these really cool elements of a TV show and podcast and like interviews and all this stuff, and it missed the mark. The audiobook was the best part about it. Then we have King of Wrath, and I'm going to put this in I will take no criticism for these because I am loving this series. I'm also going to put King of Pride right next to it because I also very much enjoyed both of these books. They were both 5 stars. I'm really enjoying this series. I love the way that Anna Huang writes her characters. I just had a blast with both of these. I can't wait to get to King of Greed. Oh my goodness, cannot talk. These were just a fun little smutty billionaire time. We have Legends and Lattes. We're gonna pretend that it never happened because I didn't really like this book. Okay, we're just gonna pretend. We're gonna pretend. I know, it's down there. It's down there. I don't even want to put it in This Was a Book because I'm so disappointed that I did not love this book. But once again, it's cozy fantasy. When will Rainey get through her head that she doesn't read cozy? I don't know. Then we have Carrie Soto by Taylor Jenkins Reid. That's going to go in I will take no criticism for these. I enjoyed this a lot more than I thought I did. It was very tennis heavy. However, it was okay because I enjoyed the tennis heaviness of it all. It is a time. We have The Writing Retreat by Julia Bartz, and that is hot trash. That book is not good. It's not good. It's not, okay? It's too unhinged. It's ridiculous. It just went a direction that it shouldn't. It's too crazy. 5 Survive by Holly Jackson is going to go in This Was a Book. Because while I 4 started at the time, I can't remember what happened in it, and it was not as good as I expected it, okay? So it just is in the middle. Then we have Love Theoretically, and I'm not going to take any criticism for that, honestly, because that book was really good too. I loved it a lot more than The Love Hypothesis. I will say my only complaint about it is that it talked too much about science and STEM stuff, but like, it was really cute, and I really liked the relationship. And we have Plastic Monsters, and this is going to go in hot trash. This book is not good. It is not good. It was clearly written by a man who just wants to write the words boobs and tits and ass like 500 times in a book in an extreme horror, and it's not good and should never have been written. Final offer. We are going to put this into the God tier when I get up there. These books are my entire personality, and I might as well just get all of them. So let me just do that really quick. Let's find the rest. There's the fine print. We're moving it all the way up there. And we're just going to put them in order because the fine print, I think, is actually my favorite, even though I 5-starred all 3 of them because the fine print I was not expecting to like as much as I did. And then I read it, and I absolutely loved it. I loved it. And I loved Terms and Conditions, and I loved Final Offer. This series is fabulous. Lauren Asher is one of my favorite authors. I really cannot... I'm so surprised with how much I liked this contemporary romance story. I thought it was just going to be another fluffy rom-com, and no, it is not. It is deep. It has layers. Like an ogre, it has layers. Happy Place by Emily Henry is going to go in This Was a Book. It was, okay? It's not the best that she's written. It's not the best she's going to write. I really hope Funny Story can redeem itself for me because I absolutely loved Book Lovers, but People Will Meet on Vacation, like, nothing will ever top that for me. Like, that is bae as far as we are concerned. I'm going to have The Last Word by Taylor Adams, and I'm going to put this in. I will take no criticism for these because I know this has a lot of issues, but I had the best time reading this. It was a blast. It was one of those books that just takes you on a ride from start to finish, and it is a crazy book, but you're just here for the journey. Am I right? Then we have Icebreaker, and obviously we know where that's going. It's going pretty high up in the hot trash category underneath We Sold Our Souls, though, because I hated that book more. Yeah, this book is bad, and I'm not going to talk about it anymore. If you missed my worst books, please go read that, okay? And you'll hear my thoughts on that. Thorn Hedge is going to go, and I will take no criticism for these because I had a really great time with this. This is my second T. Kingfisher book, and she writes very different type of books. And this one was super fun. It was a fairy tale retelling, and I just really enjoyed the characters in this one, and I thought it was so cute, and it was a magical little story, and I definitely want to read more from her. Yours Truly by Abby Jimenez is also going to go into I will take no criticism for these because I just love the way that Miss Abby Jimenez writes. Now, I know I'm not putting it in my entire personality one because, like, the end kind of, like, lowered it down for me, but I still really loved this book, and I'm going to read everything that she keeps writing because I am fully obsessed at this point. Then we have Yellowface by R.F. Kuang, and that is going to go in I will take no criticism for these because that book is fabulous, and the fact that R.F. Kuang can write so many different things and also have her PhD and also be so young is just mystifying to me. Like, seriously, teach me. Show me your ways, young Padawan. Then we have None of This Is True by Lisa Jewell, and I am going to put this in This Was a Book, and I know that that is not what you were expecting. I liked this book, but the ending didn't really get me like it did for so many other people. It just was, okay? It did not hit. It did not hit like I thought. I still really liked it, but like the ending kind of seemed like there wasn't enough payoff, if we're being honest. Romantic comedy is going to go in Let's Pretend It Never Happened because it never should have. It is not a good romance. It should not have been in the Goodreads top 10. It's not good. And my mom just bought it and I said, Mom, what are you doing with your life? What are you doing with your life? Okay, we have A Court of Ravens in Ruin, and I'm going to put this in no criticism. I know this is not a well-crafted fantasy romance, but I had so much fun with this entire series. Like, I pretty much binged it. Like, I can see the other two, so I'm just going to put them all together because I'm pretty sure I 4-starred the entire series. I still have the last book in the series to get to, but I read this in like a week, and I just had the best time with it. It is not good by any stretch of the imagination, but it's a good, smutty little fan road time. And I love that she gives a good synopsis of each book in like book after it. So like book 2 had a synopsis of book 1, book 3 had a synopsis of book 1 and book 2. I really love that. More authors should be doing that. So good job on you, Eliza Rain. Only One Left by Riley Sager is also going to go, and I will take no criticism because it is the only Riley Sager I've given a 5-star since I've given 2 stars. And I had so much fun with this. I know there were so many twists and turns in this book, and that is not for everybody, but that is for me. It was just a wild ride. Knight's Edge by Liz Karen, and we're going to pretend that this never happened, because I wanted to love this as much as everybody else, and Happy Haley Ween did, and I did not. And if I think about it too much, I'm going to get sad, and I don't want to be sad. Do you want me to be sad? I don't want to be sad. Just like I'm not sad that I read Mile High, because that was fabulous, and that is going in God tier, honestly. And I don't think it is too long. I don't think it was too long. Brittany may disagree, but I don't. And while we're there, we might as well put what we know is going to go up there, The Right Move, which I do not see it. Oh my gosh, where the heck is The Right Move? It is missing. Okay, Well, I read The Right Move, and The Right Move should be there. So we're going to pretend that it's there, okay? I'm very sad that it's not there. That book is, I mean, it was my number 4 of the year. It's magical. It's beautiful. Ryan and Quiet Love is all that matters in this world. The Boyfriend Candidate by Ashley Winstead. This is going to go in This Was Just a Book. I'm not really as impressed by her romances as I am with her thrillers, although I'm not thrilled with her other book, Midnight is the Darkest Hour, which we might as well talk about right now. That is hot trash. That was not a good book. Not a good book. Not even a little bit. Too many Twilight references. Bad. Just bad. Just bad. I want to erase it from my brain because I was expecting to love this book, okay? And I didn't. But you know what I did love? Bring Me Your Midnight. Let's go to the tippy top where you belong, my queen. My 3rd book of the year. This book is whimsical, lyrical. Her writing is beautiful. It's stunning. It's a beautiful, cute little YA witchy rom-com, okay? It's just everything I needed in a book and more. I just cannot wait to continue reading books from her. I just love thinking about this book. You Shouldn't Have Come Here by Geneva Rose is also hot trash. I can't pretend it's not, okay? I can't pretend. It is not a thriller. It is a romance, a really cringy romance with a splash of thriller. And the ending is so ridiculous that I cannot get behind it. I cannot, Miss Rose. You did me dirty this time. We have This Is Where We Talk Things Out by Caitlin Marceau. And I'm going to put this in I Will Take No Criticism for these. Bates Motel energy is all I'm going to say. This was a fabulous little horror novella, and I cannot wait to read more from this author. Now, May the Fly is going to go in This Was a Book, because I still don't know if I loved it or hated it. And so I landed with a 3-star, because I didn't know what to make of this book. It's a serial killer romance, but also it has hockey romance in it, but also it has Disney. It's just all these things that should not go together. It was one for the ages, is all I'm going to say on it. Okay, well, Fourth Wing is obviously going to go up to the top because it is my entire personality. I had such a blast with this book. I don't even care. Like, it was a vibes thing, and I still stand by it. I'll still stand by it. 7 Years Slip is going to go in books that I will take no criticism for, because this was also a fantastic book. I loved this romance so much. Clementine and Ewan can have my whole heart as well. This was one of my favorite romances of the year. It is just so stinking adorable and so sweet. We have The Whispers by Ashley Audrain, and we're going to pretend this never happened because I did not enjoy this nearly as much as The Push. It is not nearly as well written as The Push. I'm very sad that I did not like this as much, and it had a lot of elements that I genuinely enjoy, so I don't really know what happened there. Also, I'm just dumb, and The Right Move is right there, and we're going to pretend that I didn't miss it earlier, and we're just going to put it in its little place up here as number 4, right? Right? Okay. Moving on to The End and Then and What's Left of Me by Hannah Bird. These are both by my friend Hannah, who I actually was gifted ARCs to these, and I have an ARC to her newest book, so I need to read that right now. And I'm going to put these in I Will Take No Criticism for these because I love this little series of hers. It's a contemporary romance series, but it's like the first book is written on like her life experiences and what happened to her in real life. Oh my gosh, I don't know how anybody could manage that. I don't know how anybody took that traumatic situation and turned it into a beautiful book like she did, but more people need to read this book. It is stunning. Stunning. Okay, then we have The Coven by Harper Lee, and honestly, I loved this book. I'm going to put it all the way to the top. Like, I should have probably put it in my honorable mentions. Like, I loved this book. It is a dark romance, like, it has witches, it has vampires, it has all the things, and it had a weird twist at the end that I was not prepared for. I need to read book number 2 in the series. Like, I don't know how to explain this book. It was just so fun. Just so fun. Then we have Cookies for My Orc Neighbor. Obviously, that's hot trash. It's not a good book. Like, we read it for another smutty, unhinged sprint with my friends Neva, Kelsey, and Brittany. Like, it's not good. Same thing for Hush Little Baby. We might as well just put that there now. That is also another unhinged, hot, trashy book. Okay? Okay? Okay. Scorched Roses, you know where you're going. You're going all the way to the top because you are a book that deserves more hype. Okay? Miss Carissa Broadbent, you're magical. Need I say more? No, I don't. Assassin's Blade, I am going to put, and I will take no criticism for this, and I'm also going to put Throne of Glass there too, because I actually really enjoyed these. I started my Throne of Glass journey this year. I need to continue on with it, but I'm having a really good time with it. I read Assassin's Blade first, and then Throne of Glass, and I think I 4-starred Assassins, 5-starred Throne of Glass, so yeah. I'm very excited that I'm finally getting to all of the Sarah J. Maas series this year. Then we have The Prisoner by B.A. Paris. This is hot trash. This is not a good book. Nobody should read this book. It is awful, okay? Do yourself a favor and go away from this book. But Bones and Teeth is going to the top because it was in my top 10 of the year. It was fabulous. It was magical. I don't know where it went. There it is. And my mom actually just bought this too. It is a Little Mermaid dark romance retelling, and it is everything that I wanted to be and more. The banter is bantering in this book. It is very sassy and spicy and steamy. and it has mermaids, which that always goes high in my books. And we have Brutal Prince, and that is also bringing its way to the top because that is when I started my Sophie Lark journey, and I'm reading There Are No Saints by now, I heard, and absolutely loving it. I love a good mafia romance, and I love Miss Sophie Lark. In fact, let's keep going through to go to Stolen Air, which I also loved, and I'm going to also put this in these books are my entire personality because I loved this one almost as much as Brutal Prince. But then we have Savage Lover, and I'm only going to put that one in I will take no criticism for these, because while that one was good, I didn't love it as much as the first two. This series, though, is so fabulous. Like, I'm reading the fourth one this month. Please read the Brutal Birthright series if you do nothing else. We have A Dawn of Onyx, and honestly, I'm kind of going to put this in these books in my entire personality. Like, I maybe should have waited to put my honorable mentions, because I had so much time with this fan row. It's another, like, Bewitched, as in the sense that it's not the best thing ever written, but it really worked for me. Like, I loved it. I cannot wait for the sequel to come out in April. I had a great time with this book. We have Hollow by Karina Halley. That is also going in my entire personality because that was an honorable mention, and it is a Sleepy Hollow dark romance retelling. And as far as I'm concerned, she can always write that sort of book, and I will always read it. And we have The Diavolos, and I am going to put this into, I will not take any criticism for this because this is another mafia romance written by my friend that I got an arc for. Book 2 is coming out in March. Hopefully I get an arc for that as well. This was everything I needed when I learned that I was loving mafia romances. And finally, Good Bad Girl by Alice Feeney, I'm going to put into This Was a Book. I did give it a 4-star. It's not my favorite Alice Feeney, though. I've loved other ones better than that. It was a good time, though. Like, I was able to read it really quickly, and it read really quickly. It just wasn't my favorite book. And so with that, there you go. I have tier ranked everything. You should obviously screenshot the first 2 sections. These books are my entire personality, and I will take no criticism for these because these are the cream of the crop, the books that I think are actually genuinely worth reading. Then we have books that This Was a Book. I would still recommend these, so like you could still read these if you want. I don't necessarily recommend reading these books, although honestly, I feel bad putting this there, so I'm going to put this in This Was a Book because I still think you should read that book. But these other ones, I honestly don't know if Song of Achilles should be there either, but that's how I feel. That's how I feel. I'm not changing anything else, okay? And I gotta go to bed because this vlog is taking forever. Gonna let Editing Rainy come over and finish out this clip. And that is all of my tier rankings. I hope that you took a picture of the top 2 tiers because those are the books that I actually think you are worth reading. I'm already having a fabulous start to this next reading year, so I'm excited to see how many books I hit this time. If you got to the end of this video, then please put down let's do a dragon emoji, even though that has nothing to do, actually a snake emoji to do with Serpent in the Wing of Nights. Let's do a snake emoji. And let me know, I guess, what was one of your favorite reads that you read this year, or what was one that you thought was kind of in the middle. Just give me a hot take, okay? And with that, I will see you guys in a video coming very, very soon. Bye.